What's up, everybody? So I saw a video yesterday from Brian Kibler, and we know that when Brian Kibler talks about Hearthstone, everybody listens. State of Hearthstone, it's an amazing video. It's got 40K views, and I was like, you know what? I'm going to react to the video and like give my own impressions or what have you. And then Zeddy made one today that was probably 1,000 times better than I could have done. So I was like, oh, you know what? Maybe I'll just go ahead and watch the Kibler video and react to it or what have you. And then Clark Hellscream did that this morning. They did, and he did a better job than I would have done. So I did want to talk about the Great Dark Beyond. I did want to talk about, what it's been, what we've seen, and looking at some of these cards while I was, listening to the videos. I saw that there was a bunch of cards from the Great Dark Beyond that are just not being played. Please watch Kibler's video, watch Zeddy's, watch Clark Hellscream's. A lot of great points there. They are saying, and everybody's saying that I've seen online, board doesn't matter anymore. There's too many 100% clears. Whatever you put on the board has a potential of just being wiped away. So why does it matter? And I was looking at all of the cards from the Great Dark Beyond, and there's some that are just not being played at all. I just wanted to talk about what could have been and see how each one of the classes are, from the Great Dark Beyond set, and just to discuss what we could have seen if things were a little bit different. Going right into it, let's go into Death Knight. Besides some rainbow work, there's nothing here that's really consistent and has like a push for, okay, this is what we're building. There's not a setup for space. There's not a setup for Janai. The starships are there, but there's just nothing that like merges it all together. It's rainbow or bust when you're talking about Death Knight. And listen, the 8 Hands from Beyond was a great card. You just don't see it played. Exarch Maladar, I only see this in rainbow right now. So I don't see a lot of pieces that are like, oh, let's go ahead and use this. Same thing with Airlock Breach. Great card. It helps your necrotic explosion or what have you with the corpses killing or what have you. But I don't see this. I don't see decks being built around these, 10 cards. It says, okay, this is what Death Knight is doing. It's a shame too. There's some fun stuff here. If you're playing Death Knight, you're playing, Rainbow. I've seen some of them. I've seen Plague out right now, and that's crazy that Plague is being played instead of some of these cards. Little bit of a shame. Go to Demon Hunter. Demon Hunter has some cool things with Crewmate, and you just don't see them anywhere on the ladder. Crewmate has the ability to put the those 8 crew members in the deck, and it summons a few of them, and then when you put them close together and they're right next to each other adjoining, it summons all of them. Each one has its own keyword. So one's Rush, one's Lifesteal, one's Wind Fury. It's cool, but you just don't see it. And I think you don't see it because no matter how many you put on the board, it's just immediately cleared the next time. So understandably so, no one's playing this. Eldritch Being, I don't think I've ever seen that except for day 1. Again, Crewmate thing. There is just a lot of attack and a lot of aggro Demon Hunter being played right now, and a lot of Pirate. Pirate was there when this new set came out, and just no one started putting pieces together, which is a shame because the artwork is amazing on this. You just don't have a huge you don't have a huge jump in anything other than Pirate or aggro. There's just really no, hey, this is a Great Dark Beyond Demon Hunter deck. Druid is a little bit different. I think the most I'm seeing right now is Taunt Druid, so there's not really any jump in there. One of them is because Ulu the Everdrifter is just too confusing. It's too confusing, and it just doesn't have that, hey, this is what those pieces are, and this is what it's going to be. You never know what you're going to get. It's like, Forrest Gump saying life's a box of chocolates. You don't know what's going to be in your hand at the time that you might possibly need it. And when you do need something, if this is the only thing that you have, it might be just a terrible stat. You don't want it, and you've lost the game. Cosmic Phenomenon is awesome, and it would be cool if it was ever played besides like a Taunt Druid deck every once in a while. It's just really not played. Fun card though. You don't see a lot of starship pieces in Druid. I haven't seen rarely any of them. The only thing I'm seeing when I'm talking about Druid, when anybody's talking about Druid for the past couple of weeks, has been Dungar Druid, and it's just broken. It's just, hey, you make it to turn 4, you hit your 3 cards, and boom, you've essentially won the game. A little bit busted there, but Stargazer, that's, I think, the only main card that has more than 1% of deck play rate or what have you. It's in 1% of Druid decks or something like that. It's very, very small. Starlight Reactor, I don't think I've ever seen this more than once or twice here and there when it first came out. There's just no pieces here that says, hey, this is the Druid starship deck or what have you, and it's a shame, just like I said with Demon Hunter. With Hunter, listen, you've seen it. Discover Hunter is awesome. It's powerful, it's strong. Secret Hunter is there with very rarely, I think there's only 1 card or 2 cards from the new set in that deck. You see alien encounters because it's so cheap. Why wouldn't you put this out? Because if you're playing Discover Hunter, this is being played for 0 mana. Why wouldn't you want 2/5 Beasts with Taunt on your board for nothing? Gorm was awesome. Gorm is awesome. I have the cosmetic. I was so excited. Woohoo, I'm going to play this. And really, it's just useless. You sit there and you destroy your other minions to the right of this to awaken it sooner. You've got a 12/12 on board, and it's gone immediately. It's just all you're doing is wasting your opponent's time because it's going to kill it right away. Fun card, but it's just not worth playing. Some of these pieces for the like Biopod, we've seen Biopod, it is being played. There is a bunch more variety with Hunter, and I think a lot of it is to do with Discover and the Exarch Niall and the Rangari Scout. We saw it. If you've seen any of the Masters Tour like last weekend, this was one of the strongest archetypes being played. It's just the only thing that I saw that was a little bit easier to play than some of the other decks, and it's just there's nothing else being played. I don't think I've seen this one maybe once or twice. Laser Barrage, so it's very set straight in one in one place with Hunter, and that's about it. There's no other like Hunter archetypes being played except for Discover or Secrets or the other ones. The other 2 have nothing really to do with this set. Mage has got some great stuff, but no one was playing it because Big Spell Mage was super crazy good. One of the things that I thought was really, really cool when this came out was this Saroon with the fire spell damage and then the blazing accretion, or I don't know, where you're destroying the top 3 cards of your deck, but any fire spells or elementals are drawn instead. An elemental mage fire spell, it's really cool idea. Solar Flare deals 2 damage to all enemies with the elements you control. Shuffle 5 random fire spells into your deck with 2 less, and then Saroon gives all elementals in your deck fire spell damage. I thought, this is amazing. This is a great deck that's going to be played. Look at this one, Supernova. Fill your hand with random fire spells. They cost 1. I was like, this is going to be great. It wasn't. It's not being played. There is an elemental mage deck being played here and there after Big Spell Mage dropped off after they were nerfed or what have you, but that was it. There is some Arcwing Pilot being used, but I think it's another situation to where it's, hey, if you play these 7 or 8 cards in this certain row, you've won the game. And that's kind of sad because there's some really cool cards here for Mage. Paladin, I've said this multiple times. Lumia is awesome, but it's just not being played. A lot of the packages for Paladin was based off of Librams. There's a couple auras in here or what have you, but nothing crazy. And it just has not found a foothold. There's a couple of good cards that are great and wild for Libram Pally and Wild, but yes, there is a positive win rate on Libram Paladin. You just don't see it. Why do you not see it? Because hand buff Paladin is just so strong. If you're playing Paladin, that's what you're really running into. You can start a Libram, you could start a hand buff Paladin deck for less than 1,000 dust and carry you to legend. And I think the legend decks are like 4,000 or 6,000 dust, not too crazy. So why would you mess around with the amount of losses you will have on the Libram side, which is a shame because Libram is my favorite deck that I've ever played for any Paladin deck ever. Even Murloc Paladin, that's saying something. Priest is just, hey, Priest has been in a bad spot for a long time. Whether it's, past couple expansions or what have you. I think I've mentioned it before. While I'm not the greatest fan of Priest, I feel that some of the Priest things are a little broken in some instances. There's just nothing here. There's a little bit Draenei things, but what have we seen Draenei wise in this expansion? It is cool, but it's just no one's playing it. No one's playing it at all. Like this, the next Draenei you play summons a copy of itself. Doesn't work. None of the Draenei are, really crazy enough to do it. Cure, the Light Beyond. Summon a random 3-cost minion. Holy spells don't remove this spell burst. You could do that a bunch of times, but guess what? Your board full of 3-cost minions, is going away next turn because it's so easy to clear boards. So couple of things here that I would love to see. I'd love to see, another control priest back. I just don't see there having any of that. Overheal was a little bit something. There's a Zarimi that makes you get an extra turn. And truthfully, Zarimi priest is just an extra turn where you're going to lose one turn later. That's all I see, from watching. Rogue, Rogue is going up and down. What I mean by that is there was this crazy Quasar thing that happened, and then there's the weapon Rogue, and there's a couple other pieces. Rogue was very strong in the tournament, in the Masters Tour, but then nothing else. Nothing else. I see it, I don't see a lot of these cards besides the broken 1 or 2 here and there. I think a big chunk of it is the cards from the previous series. Talgath just got buffed. I didn't see it being played a huge ton of times. I haven't seen a significant deck built around Talgath or what have you. And I don't see like a space rogue or anything like that anymore. Quasar was a little broken at the time, but it lasted like 3 weeks. And then not even 3 weeks, I would think, and then it just went down. And I don't see anything here besides a couple of Draenei. This demon here doesn't make any sense. There's not much here. Gain +2 attack and stealth. There's no need for this. No reason to keep that because the board is not there. Shaman is another powerful one. And I think this one is the most Great Dark Beyond class of the expansion, and I think it's because of asteroids, but asteroids are either incredibly easy to play or incredibly frustrating to play against. I'm messing around with some of these decks for Asteroid Shaman, a couple of the different deck card in the deck, and man, it doesn't matter what you throw in there. That and Shutter Block, and you've won the game. It's just, hey, listen, stay alive long enough, and you've won the game. It's inevitability, especially if they have no minions on board. Things like Meteor Storm just kills everything, essentially. Big minions don't matter because you could put something else. You could put Ceaseless Expanse. You could put, a couple other things. You could put... you could put Yogg Saron. You could put so many things. Bob now, the brand new card that everybody can get for free through the event, can steal a minion. And then your opponent gets 3 coins and you've stole their biggest minion or what have you. It's just not fun. But I feel that Shaman had the most. Shaman had the most agency for this set, if you will, with, with the elementals and the asteroids or what have you, so much as to where don't see Farseer Nobundu played much at all. And it seems like fun. Murmur was kind of fun for about 37 seconds. And then a couple of days later, people realized, this isn't that great. And Warlock is weird. So Warlock has some pieces that kind of work for demons and the starship. And there's like there's a armor Warlock that does some crazy things. There's a way to have an infinite Warlock type of thing going on, but it's just like this one, Archimond. Archimond is talking about summon every demon you played this game that didn't start in your deck. Why wouldn't you just play a Pain Warlock and then just use the one that summons demons, replaces your hand? I don't remember the name. Kill Jaden. No one's playing this one. Great looking card. Great, thing that it could do, that'll summon every minion you played this game that didn't start in your deck, but no one's playing this. Like I said, a couple little things. Abduction Ray is one of the coolest cards I've seen in terms of artwork, and I never see it. Maybe once in a while on a little, deck here and there, nothing crazy. And Warrior is just, hey, look at how awesome this card is. Summon a random 5-cost minion, your future replicating spore, summon it as well. You get 7 of them into your deck, and I don't think I've ever seen this card played by anybody, and I haven't played it as well. It doesn't work. Akama with Janai for Warrior had a good interaction, but it just didn't win games because the board didn't matter. And if you didn't have that pop off with XR Akama, it just didn't matter because you were dead, because it was so easy to clear the boards. Jettison, I don't think I've ever seen this card being played. The Great Mace, maybe that was played originally, but you just do not see any of the Janai being played for Warrior. Warrior is essentially like, there's still Odin being played. If you look up on HS Replay and you look up like statistics of what's being played right now, you're seeing more about Odin Warrior or a couple of Control Warriors without all of the Janai than a Janai Warrior. And then, yeah, there's, Kill Jaden was right on this. Velen was awesome, but there's no real need to play all these Janai. So why would you want to sit there and worry about that? It's just not being seen, and it's an amazing looking card. This card right here, this one, there's, I think, 2 or 3 different ways of making this completely repeatable many times. It was in the Masters Tour where the Ceaseless Expanse was able to work with Fizzle that copied your hand and just made this continuous, where the board didn't matter anymore. No matter what you did, the board didn't matter because you had infinite amount of Ceaseless Expanses. They were all at 0 mana. It clears everything, destroyed all the other minions, and then you have a 15/15 on board. I love some of these cards, but there's just too many. There's too many. Yeah, Kill Jaden was awesome in terms of it's awesome for everybody to just throw this in their deck. There's no reason not to. Hey, you're not winning the game, just throw Kill Jaden out, and it just switches things up to where you have endless portals of demons. And there's some cards here that just aren't ever seeing play whatsoever. I'm trying to call out, listen, Kibler's video and Zeddy's and Clark Hellscreams and everybody, and I've said this multiple times, Ethereal Oracle is a kind of a broken card, but it's broken, and why wouldn't you put it in its neutral? It's easy to go ahead and pop off with this one. Brain Gill, never seen this one. Why? Give all friendly Murlocs Death Rattle, draw a card. When was the last time, besides like maybe 1 or 2 in Perils of Paradise, Murloc related? Even before Perils of Paradise. Yeah, I'm thinking from a while ago. Just not there. There's just a couple of Murlocs here. Yeah, so Carefree Cookie, why would it be played here? Funkfin, no one's seeing that. Sir Finley every once in a while. Yeah, you have some amalgams or what have you. Cactus Cutter, this is being played, but this is just throwing Cactus Cutter in your hand to be able to draw a spell when you're playing like, the Asteroid Shaman or what have you. And that's it. There's really nothing else that's crazy. Yeah, I'm not looking at just a couple of Perils in Paradise, but who's playing Drink Server? Who's right now playing Drink Server in a deck that would need Brain Gill? It isn't there. And when you look at how awesome some of this artwork is. This artwork is awesome. It's just not seen at all. And when you look at the card statistics, now I only pulled 14 days because that's all HS Replay gives us. And, I just put gold because I didn't want to have it like, oh, let's look at legend stats or let's look at, bronze stats. So I just said gold. Look, Light Fuse Mana Saber, nothing. Celestial Aura, nothing. Dwarf Planet, 0.010. 0%. It's just not being played. Eldritch Being, yeah. I've never seen it being played anytime recently. And just look at how many are just not in these decks at all. And it's weird. It's very weird. I'm very curious to see how the mini set's going to go. We only have a couple of weeks. And one of the points I wanted to mention, like, please watch the videos of Kibler, watch the videos of Zeddy or what have you, and let us know your thoughts. Let everybody know what do you agree that, there's some broken things going on? Do you think it's in a healthy state, an unhealthy state? Do we need a reset? Like, Zeddy made a comment, and I was thinking about this. It's funny that, great minds think alike. Thank you, Zeddy. I think the core set needs to be just obliterated. Get rid of all of the core class cards. I don't think we need them anymore. Let's just do a huge shakeup. Get rid of, get rid of all the core rogue cards, the ones that we've seen since forever. Get rid of the core warrior and the core, just all of them. Shield block. Get rid of defile. Get rid of all of the craziness here. Looking at the core cards, just to remember what we have here on core cards. Standard core cards. Watch, this is not gonna work. Oh, because I put Starship in here. That was silly. Yeah, get rid of Horn of Winter. Get rid of Body Bagger. I can't think of any Death Knight cards that we would need to keep. Can't think of one of them that would be a problem to where, okay, we have to have this, or, Death Knight is not going to do anything. In fact, like this one right here, Soul Stealer, get rid of it. Destroy all other minions. Stop making an 8-mana minion that you could possibly discount, kill the entire board. Stop. Demon Hunter. I think 90% of these Demon Hunter core cards can go away, if not all of them. Chaos Strike. Yeah, get rid of it. Spectral Sight. We play that situationally. It's sometimes in a meta, sometimes not in a meta. Get rid of it. I can't think of anything here that would be a bust. Some of these Druid cards, get rid of Innervate. Druid doesn't need ramp that much anymore. Doesn't need an extra Innervate. Get rid of it. All of those gifts that they created, get rid of all of those gifts from each one of them. Let them be able to do this. Power of the Wild, gone. Witchwood, Mark of the Wild, get rid of them. Don't need any of those. Swipe. Let's just switch things up. Hunter, listen, tracking wasn't anything until it was something, and now it's everything. With Exarch and IL, it's huge right now. Let's do a switch up of the traps. Maybe traps are the only thing I'm thinking of. Maybe we should keep explosive trap, freezing trap, ice trap. Maybe switch them up. Maybe put all of the new traps in the core set and get rid of some of the crazy ones. Animal companion, don't need it. No one's using it. Dragonbane, we see it situationally. That's it. No one's playing Savannah High Main right now because the board doesn't matter. Get rid of those. Mage, yeah, I haven't seen maybe 2 or 3 of these cards. Every once in a while, here and there. Counterspell, get rid of it. Ice Barrier, get rid of it. Primordial Glyph, let's get rid of it. Blizzard, same thing here. Maybe you can draw some of these, like, maybe a card would give like a spell from the past, being able to draw them, but that's fine. I'm even saying, listen, and I'm a Paladin player. I'm even saying Righteous Protector, get rid of it. Equality, gone. Grime Street Outfitter. I think the time is past for Paladin to get rid of Handbuff Paladin. Maybe it's time to let that go. Consecration, Muster for Battle. All of them go. I can't think of any of these being kept. Crusader Aura, I love this card. I'm ready to get rid of it. Bye-bye. Lady Liadrin, awesome card. Tyrion, let's get rid of all of them. Priest is in such a bad space. Maybe let's let Priest keep their cards. I don't think anything here is going to be a game changer, although some of these are so annoying. I'm remembering Light Bomb and Katrina Muerte, and I'm like, oh, maybe I don't want to see those anywhere. Obsidian Statue, too. Yeah, every time I'm looking at these Priest cards, I'm like, I don't want any of these. And then Rogue. I mean, these 4 cards are still being played in a large portion of all rogue decks. Backstab, Preparation, Shadow Step, Deadly Poison. Let's get rid of them. Eviscerate, Fan of Knives, Sap. Get rid of them. SI7 Agent, get rid of it. assassinate, even though we don't see this. And I'm okay with this one. I'm okay with a once in a while destroy an enemy minion. Perfect. Not destroy the enemy minion that you pick. I like something with some randomness. If you're going to destroy something on the board, make it random. If everything else is RNG in this game, make it random. Don't be like, hey, for 5 mana, 6 mana, 4 mana, I can go ahead and, just kill off anything that's on the board. Especially when, with Rogue, you can discount the heck out of this. This would be, 2 mana, 1 mana, what have you. I'm not looking at any of these cards that I'm saying needs to be kept. Lightning Bolt, get rid of. Novice Zapper, get rid of. Flame Tongue Totem, get rid of. I can't see any of these cards staying. Frail Spirit, get rid of. Hex. I like Shaman's ability that has that overload, so the crazy cards need to mean something next turn. I like that. I think that's a good balance to where, hey, listen, you could play something that's pretty strong right now, but it's going to cost you next turn. I'm okay with that. But I just don't want it to be so easy to just clear boards. Let's get rid of it. Warlock, you're not seeing too many crazy ones of this. Defile, Flame Imp, Mortal Coil maybe, Spirit Bomb, not so much. The Spellstone, yeah, I'm fine with getting rid of all of these as well. Warrior, same thing. Shield Slam, Execute. Let's get rid of Brawl. Let's get rid of Blade Storm. Shield Block. All of these can go. I don't see any that would be like, okay, no, we have to keep this one. We have to keep this one. There's some great cards in here that are seeing play every once in a while situationally. Glacial Shard. I've seen this more in the past 3 months than I've seen ever because it's easy to just block that board, to block that minion. I'm kind of okay with Freeze. I'm fine with keeping Freeze. Destroy is just terrible. I'm no longer a fan of one card destroying the entire board. Unless it means something, situationally crazy. I don't know on that one. Youthful Brewmaster, get rid of that. Why would, we have multiple ways of taking a minion that you've just used, that've done something crazy, and just putting it back in your hand multiple times. No, I think that should go. Murlocs, bring more Murlocs back. Rustrot Viper. We don't have any weapon craziness right now, but this was a problem back in the day, so I'd be fine getting rid of it. Yeah, Zola. Choose a friendly minion and a golden copy of it to your hand. There's another way of making that minion come back again. Footman, Life Drinker. I can't see any here that would be like getting rid of. Mind Control Tech. If your opponent has 4 or more minions, take control of one. How about take control of a random one? I'm okay with random, but being able to target something specifically, I think would have a more difficult time to clear boards. So with all that removal or what have you, take control of a random enemy minion. That one's perfect. Death Rattle takes control. You never know what you're going to get. I'm okay with randomness. Ragnaros. Get rid of them. Fine with that. Alexstrasza, get rid of. Ysera. All these big demons, get rid of. All elementals, dragons. I didn't mean demon. Get rid of them. I'm fine with that. I think a reset needs to happen. I'm not an expert at this. I'm still having fun, but I'm playing more battlegrounds than standard right now. And I see many others are. You can see it. The tea leaves have already been teed, or whatever you want to say. But I do want to know your thoughts. Let me know if you agree, disagree, if you think some of these suggestions are good. Do you think that the Great Dark Beyond is not a problem? What's the mini set going to bring? There's so many questions. Just give me your thoughts. If you have 5 minutes, if you're on, the holiday season break or whatnot, spend 4 minutes and throw out what your ideas are, what your thoughts on the expansion, what 2024 was, what 2025 is going to be. And yeah, subscribe, all that fun stuff. See you in the next video.